You know, people say you can live 40 days without food, 8 days without water, 4 minutes without air, but you can only live a few seconds without hope. People need hope. It's what we hold on to in the difficult times of life. But once it's gone, life quickly fades into darkness.
James, I love you, but since you started using, it feels like there's no life in your eyes. And I can't tell if the son I know even exists anymore. I miss you so much, but your addiction has become my worst enemy. And just when I think it's taken all it can, another part of you disappears.
When I first started using, I didn't think it was a big deal. You know, I was just doing the same things that everyone else was doing. You know, it was all pretty much harmless. I don't know why my mom would get angry, and I remember wishing she would just chill out about it sometimes, I guess.
At first, you slipped away in pieces. You grew cold, lost your humor, your spirit. Now nothing seems to matter to you. I desperately want to help you, but you twist everything I say to some kind of attack. So I've stopped saying anything at all.
Without me realizing it, my drug use became a real problem. All I cared about was getting high, and it didn't care about who it hurt or what I had to do. I had to start selling drugs, I had to start stealing. My mom begged me to go to treatment. She told me how different I was, how distant, how empty, but I just didn't care. When I first tried heroin, I finally realized what I was looking for, but it was scary. You had to have it to do anything. I had to have it to get out of bed. I had to have it to go to sleep. I had to have it to just function, and I'd never experienced anything like that before.
Fear is my constant companion now, and I sometimes have to remind myself to breathe. Every time I close my eyes, I see you. Every time the phone rings, I panic. And every time I tell you goodbye, I wonder if it was for the last time.
There's a few times of clarity when I realized what I'd gotten myself into, how deep I was in it. Everything that my mom told me for years was all coming true. At some point, the drugs didn't even help me feel good anymore, but stopping wasn't an option because withdrawals were so bad. The only thing that you thought would ever give you relief from the dope sickness would be death, and that was an attractive option. One night I had had enough, and I decided I was going to commit suicide. I took 2 bottles of pills, and I woke up in the hospital. I opened my eyes and I saw my parents sitting across the room, and I had completely shut them out of my life. There was no reason that they should even be there, and yet there they were. And I think that's the first time that I really heard God speak to me about how he had a different plan for my life. And that's when my mom told me about Teen Challenge and that there was a way out finally.
At Teen Challenge, this is where we meet people, the darkest and most desperate moments of their lives. With your support, this can be a place to find healing and recovery, a place to find hope again. We can help people like James not only overcome their addictions, but move forward with their lives and find a purpose they may never have known existed.
I graduated Teen Challenge in 2009, and even then I knew my life was going to be better. But I had no idea how much things were going to change.
Hi, Mom. Hi, how are you? How was your job?
Today I work at Teen Challenge, helping others find freedom from addiction. I'm married, and my wife and I have started a family. And after years of pushing her way, my mom is a huge part of our lives. I'm so grateful she never gave up hope.
Hi, I'm John Choi. As Ramsey County Attorney, I can tell you that addiction is a factor in a majority of the cases I see come across my desk every day. Today, in Minnesota, we are up against a growing problem. Addictions to alcohol, prescription pills, meth, and maybe the most frightening of all, heroin. That's why I'm thankful for partners like Minnesota Teen Challenge. In my opinion, their full range of programs, including intensive treatment, long-term residential recovery, and their prevention presentations, make Minnesota Teen Challenge part of the solution we so badly need.